Hello, and welcome to Grow to Glow. Yeah, I am Dr. Thashna Walsh, and I am the owner of Thashna Walsh Lifestyle Tribe, which houses a whole community to help people evolve to their goddess selves, primarily women, evolve to the goddess that's already within you, is to take off all of those jackets that's not serving you that you've put on since you were born, um, pretending to be somebody else, forgetting who you truly are, which is why you're facing the hardships and the struggles in your life. So once we start cleaning up those subconscious programs that are not serving you, those subconscious programs of not deserving anything good in your life, feeling that nobody loves you, feeling that you can't make the connections that you need to make, feeling that you are stupid, feeling that you're not pretty enough, you're not graceful enough, you're not smart enough, feeling that nobody gets you, you're misunderstood, right? What is your thing, right? Low self-esteem, lacking confidence, so many things that we suffer from, depression, right? A lot of things. Some people suffer from overwhelmment, serious overwhelmment, and just general stress and fear of living in today's society. All right. So this is what my purpose is to help women who are struggling and showing them the path of no struggle, no hustle, just pure calm, peace, and success in the easy way. So a lot of people are out there hustling, pushing, forcing, fighting to get the success that they want. And yes, some people get it, but then it's so hard to maintain when you go about it that way, because that's the only way. You have to keep putting so much energy on it, right? So by the time you get to an older age, you're just all worn out and you can't even enjoy the success that you got, because your body's starting to fall apart. You've got all kinds of health issues, and your mental state is not so stable, right? So this is showing you an easier way, a totally different path where we drop all of those limitations, all of those things that make us up, that are telling us that we have to be this certain way in order to get the success. And I'm showing you the easy way to get the same amount of success and maintain it, because you're doing it with energy, with positive, beautiful, graceful goddess energy. All right. So I'm here today to answer a question. And oh my God, I haven't even really thought about the question. I just thought I'm just gonna go dive in and just let it come through me. So the question is, what do I do when I'm in a family that puts me down and discourages me from growing? Oh my goodness. I can relate so strongly to this because I remember growing up, and I grew up in the church, and I branched out in my own world as I was growing up to into the modeling industry. And oh my God, my mother fought me for a little while before she just let me go. And and also the judgment that I got from people in the church as well. So your judgment might not be coming from the church. This young lady's, her judgment is coming from her family, the people that love her the most, right? They care about you, right? So it's not that they're trying not to, they don't want to see the best for you. It's that they don't understand that you're going into a territory that they're not familiar with, right? You're growing, you're becoming somebody new. They're no longer recognizing who you are. And this is uncomfortable for people who live a limited life. All right. And this is not out of disrespect. Okay. Some people like that. All right. But if you want to grow and you want to have a bigger mindset and you want to have more successes and you want to travel the world and you want to have lots of money in your bank account, you want to have a really crazy, sexy, beautiful relationship that you're not fighting all the time. You just really want, and you're living in a family that's saying that doesn't exist, right? Men are hard to find, so you just got to take what you can get, or money doesn't grow on trees, right? So you got to work hard, you got to hustle. Who do you think you are? You are trying to do something totally different, and then they're coming at you with that energy. What do you do? This is real. What do you do for me? I just ran away. That was my thing. I just packed my bags and I left. I left home. And then when I needed to, every situation that confined me, any situation I felt was controlling me and confining me to this glass ceiling or a box, I would find a way to escape it. And my go to was running. All right. I'm not saying you should run. That was just what I used to do. Now I know differently. So, what I would do in a situation like that now is be careful who you're telling your dreams to. So, you're growing and you're speaking differently. Allow people to speak the way, speak how what they want to speak. But if they're coming into your space, then you can ask nice and gently and respectfully, do you mind not using those terminologies? Do you mind not swearing? Whatever it is for you. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, for my friends, if they're free to do whatever they want and I'll be whoever they want. But some people prefer when people are coming into their space, they behave a certain way, right? But if we are wanting to be free, we have to also allow other people to be free. So you're in a household where people are just taking the mick out of you and putting you down, trying to get you back in the box where they're sitting. Then you've got to be strong and bold enough to say no, thank you, and I'd appreciate if you would just leave me alone or take yourself away from the situation. You can either speak up, move away from the situation so you're not in line of that sort of chatter, okay? Or if you're strong enough, you can sit within it, feeling so much compassion for them at where they are. It's not feeling sorry for them. It's different, okay? Even though it sounds the same. It's having compassion, knowing that they don't understand. If they understood what this meant to you, they would allow you just to be. But they're not understanding. This is the only way they know how to support themselves, protect themselves from the fear of you growing and leaving the nest, possibly, or showing them up, possibly. But a lot of this happens unconsciously. Most of the time, they don't realize this is what they're doing. Okay. So you have to sit in it with a level of compassion and also a level of gratitude to say, wow, I am really moving. Something is really shifting. People are beginning to notice, and it's really rubbing them up the wrong way. So being grateful that you can you can see that it's within yourself. You've got that strong awareness. Be grateful for it. And you know, when Jesus into this now, when Jesus was on the cross and he said, forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. It's almost like a compassion like that. It's like, you know, you're giving them that forgiveness because they don't understand what's going on with you and they can't. So you trying to explain it to them, you're throwing your pearls at swine. Another Bible verse, do not throw your pearls at the swine. All right. It doesn't mean in a disrespectful way, but if you throw your pearls into where the pigs are, what's going to happen? They're just going to eat it up. They don't realize the value of the pearls. So you sitting there trying to argue with them, you're just going to lower your vibration because they're just not going to get it. They're at a total different frequency than you are. So sometimes it's best just not to say anything. Just honor people with love. Just project love towards them. Put yourself in a space where you're not being bombarded with that. Because here's another Bible verse: evil communication corrupts good manners. So if you're pushing yourself in the shooting and the line of the bullets coming towards you, then you're gonna get shot up, yeah? And eventually you're gonna go down. So you're gonna end up in the same place that they are. So you have to take yourself away from the line of fire, right? And yes, they're going to talk about you. You can't help that. You got to be okay with that. Just let that be. All right. And just love them anyway. Because as soon as you bring any negativity into it because of the situation, they have won and they've pulled you down to where they are at. Okay. So you have to remember. I had a little bit, I'm not going to share the details of it, but a little bit of a spat with my fiance last night. And I got really upset. And I started to cry, because I'm thinking, How could he not understand that? Or could he not understand me? And then I realized I had been asking for this. I've been asking for these triggers to come up to help me deal with specific things in my life so that I can clean them up and move to another level. Right. So, but it totally caught me by surprise because everything has just been so hunky dory for so long. We've not had any spat. We just, we talk things through quite easily, but this was just like sharp and stinging, and I was like sharp and stinging, and we're both like that, and nobody's giving, and I'm just like, and it kind of hurts me because I started to feel a little bit insecure in myself. I'm thinking, what is this behavior? And then I realized that I was like Thashna 10 years ago, crying to get my own way, even though it had gone. But this, because I couldn't get my own way, I was just like sobbing uncontrollably, not knowing what to do with myself. And then I had to stop myself and go, okay, who is my source? Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing here? This is all about me. This is a reflection of something going on inside of me, right? For me to build on, to work on, to alchemize so that it's lighter and brighter. So yes, people can make you feel, you can allow people to make you feel that way. People are going to say things and it's going to trigger. And that is when you go into the trigger therapy, right? You turn it around and go, okay, what am I meant to learn here? I'm meant to learn that, okay, there's some levels of insecurity that needs cleaning up. I still don't feel safe under these conditions, that. So how do I fix that? How do I make myself feel safe? Right. And you have to do the work from inside. You can't, somebody outside of you can't make to your family members that are giving it all that can't make you feel safe. You've got to create that security within yourself. So whether you go read your book, you call your coach, you go listen to some music, you go write in your journal, you go do some meditation, you need to find your way that you're going to create. And I sat in front of the mirror and I did some affirmations and I started talking to God and I was just, and then I started laughing, just like how imagine I allow one person to take away all of my great energy based on words that they spoke, right? Something outside of me controls my feelings. No, 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 no. And the whole argument was about something that I wasn't going to give into. Okay, this is my stance. I understand that I could have dealt with the situation a little better. I could have communicated to myself better. Both of us could have done. And then that was the bottom line. Let's let's be um let's be grateful. Let's be compassionate towards each other because we all like things done a certain way and to have things a certain way, right? But you can't make the other person do the things that you want them to do all the time, right? Because come a time where it's like, no, now you're moving into my space and trying to tell me how to live my life, right? And vice versa. So you've got to basically have compassion. And where another party can't do that for you, have compassion with you for the situation, then you got to do that all by yourself. You've got to develop the strength to do that for yourself. You got to love yourself enough to make that work. Okay? To say, this is what I deserve. This is what I deserve. I love myself enough to stand on my feet with grace and honor and speak the words of what I feel is right for me and love you anyway, where you're at, even though you don't like it. I am sorry, but I'm not really, not sorry, but I'm sorry you're hurting because of that. But that's their problem. They got to go and transmute that for themselves. All right. And if they don't want help doing it, then it's going to be an issue. But it's not your issue. But one thing I know is once you start loving people where they're at, regardless of how far you're growing, love connects us all, regardless of who you are, right? The good, the bad, and the indifferent is connected through love. But the indifferent and the bad has to be open to receiving the love. That's it. Okay. I hope this makes sense. That's from Jane. Jane. Okay, Jane. Thank you for your question. That was a really good question. That question, because this kind of stuff you go through all the time, right? So like I told you about me and my fiance, right? So that was a situation. There's sometimes situations at work. Um, that I have to catch them really quickly to make sure I'm transmuting and bringing the love, because it's so easy to nose dive in your energy, and then you have to pick yourself up and crawl up again. Oh, but sometimes, like I said, when we are triggered, it's something inside of us that's calling us to heal. It's calling for healing. So it's never the situation. It's the feeling that you have based on the situation. The situation is calling because it's your frequency. You've called it in. So the situation, you've already called it. So you just got to accept it. Okay, I call the situation in. Where did I call it in? It's making me feel this way. So therefore I need to go in and go, where's that coming from? Where's that insecurity coming from? Yeah, the last time I felt like this, it was like this, right? And this is why we do those rapid transformational therapy sessions, so that we can go deep inside to find the root cause of the problems that are holding you anchored to the same behaviors and the same patterns in your life, not getting anywhere. So once you start listening to them and not pushing them away and going, how could they do that to me? And it's them and them and them. And you realize that actually, no, I've called this in for a reason. It's a frequency. That's all it is, right? In human terms, yes, it's a story. But what does a story mean? What are we making it mean? And use it to alchemize and heal yourself, right? And you know what? Once you've done the healing here, it actually takes care of the stuff that's going on out there, and that never comes to you again. So those family members, they just either leave you alone, or they kind of come around and start understanding, or they just like start accepting you for who you are and love you even more, right? Because you've alchemized it and you put love on it, and love always wins. Love always wins. Okay, if you got any questions with regards to this answer for the question from Jane, then just let me know in the chat here, or get on the Facebook group and let's talk it out. All right, thank you again for listening, and yeah, please subscribe if you haven't. If you're first time or you've been listening a few times and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm growing my channel organically, and yes, it's not quite 100 people on there yet, but I'm persevering. I just want everybody to get the message that the beauty that you're seeking, the freedom that you're seeking, the love that you're seeking, it's not that far away. It's actually the closest you can ever get to it. But all you need to do is just do a little digging, excavating, clearing, and then getting to know that version of yourself again, so you can see so many tremendous, beautiful, gorgeous things happening in your life. Okay, so please subscribe, tell a friend, share this video, and also like the video if you enjoyed it. Okay, thank you again. Until next time, sending you lots of hugs, lots of love. Stay light, stay bright. Bye.